ladies and gentlemen, score of interest in the bowl game today. Tennessee and Purdue are tied at 38 with about 3 minutes to go in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bristol, Tennessee, and Tennessee High School's Viking Hall for Game 24 of the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. This semifinal game features the Berkmar High School Patriots from Wilburn, Georgia, versus the Greeneville High School Greeneville from Greeneville, Tennessee. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remain motionless to honor America as we present our national anthem. And now for our starting lineup, beginning with the Greeneville Green Devils. At guard, a 5'7" senior, number 2, Jackson Tillery. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 3, Jacoby Gillespie. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 5, DeJounte Dabbs. At forward, a 6'4" senior, number 11, Terry Grove. And in guard, a 6'3" senior, number 23, Reed Satterfield. Green Devils are led by head coach Brad Woolsey, assisted by Josh Bennett. And now for the Berkmar Patriots, their starting lineup. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 0, Jameel Rideout. At guard, a 6'4" senior, number 2, Jamari Hill. At guard, a 6'4.5" senior, number 11, Bryce Blaine. At forward, a 6'10" senior, number 21, Malik Ewan. And at forward, a 6'7" senior, number 24, Antoine Bo Kearns.
Good evening and welcome to Bristol, Tennessee High School. We're at Viking Hall this evening. This is your host, CJ Manahan. We're here at the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. We've got 2 ball games tonight in our semifinal matchups. We're about ready to tip off here with an intriguing matchup between 2 teams that won very close games last night. Greeneville pulling off a massive upset over Dr. Phillips, led by Jacoby Gillespie and his band from here in East Tennessee. They're going up against the Berkmar Patriots, who held off a game Dorman team from South Carolina. The closest game of the night, 71-70 was the final. So 2 teams coming off of close games, hard-fought wins. Should be really an interesting matchup. as we go into this evening. Greeneville facing a similar circumstance at a size disadvantage, but not quite as extensive a disadvantage as they were at last night against 6'10" Uday from Dr. Phillips. So again, the front line was a little bit bigger, even though they're facing another 6'10" individual, Malik Ewan, who is a big-time recruit as well. It's just going to be an interesting matchup as we roll through. So starts off with a turnover. Greeneville with the ball in the half court. Man-to-man defense there by Berkmar, but right out of the gate, Jacoby Gillespie finds a gap there, and little runner. He had a couple of those last night. Puts Greeneville on the board for a 2-0 lead. Same deal on the other end. We got a man-to-man with Greeneville here as well. Jamil Rideout, who was a standout player for Berkmar yesterday, lines up a three and knocks that down. So buckets for both teams to start the ball game this evening. Lots of action expected between these two. Again, Greeneville coming off a really nice win last night over a highly rated team. Dabbs took it in strong there, had it swatted away by number 24, Bo Hearns. Read that defensively really nicely, but Greeneville retains possession. So interior-wise, it's Berkmar's going to have an advantage. Although watching Ewan play yesterday, he was kind of an inside-out guy. Hit at least 1 3, was not afraid to take a 15-foot jump shot, but obviously around the rim, he's a real tough guy to handle. Long, athletic guy. Had several dunks in the game yesterday against Dorman. There's Gillespie for 3. That was a little off. Battled with Grove inside. Grove and his counterpart, both number 11s, as Bryce Blaine fouled there on Grove, be a first foul of the ball game. So as we go through the feeling out period here in this early phase, Gillespie already with 2 shots at the basket. I would expect him to be the guy that's going to get 20 to 25 opportunities this evening. He really became aggressive in the from the second quarter on yesterday. Really kind of controlled the tempo in that entire ball game. Had really good help from Satterfield and Dabbs and others. There's a nice move there by Ewan to score. But he was really the guy that was really kind of stirring everything yesterday against a highly touted Dr. Phillips team. Nice move inside there by Ewan. He's going to be a tough matchup for Greeneville there on the inside at 6'10" and long. There's Satterfield from the corner. He also had a really nice game last night. There's Gillespie with a steal. Poke that away from behind. He's going to take it in strong. Up and under move. Bothered by Ewan there. His length had an effect on that shot. Rideout's going to step into a 3 on the left-hand side. He was pretty effective from that distance yesterday as well. Had a really good first half yesterday. Kind of cooled off in the second half. He's 1 for 2 from 3 so far. Speaking of threes, there's Dabbs up. Dabbs shot really well yesterday. Was perfect for a good portion of the game. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight. So again, these teams is going to be their third night in a row that they're playing here. So again, fatigue is going to be a factor very likely as the game wears on. Nice move there by Ewan, left it a little bit short. Dabbs out to Gillespie, up there to Tillery. 5'7" Tillery has that ball swatted off the backboard. Took it strong. 2 Berkmar defenders there available to handle that shot. There goes Rideout, kick down to Ewan. He's going to take it up strong, dunk it home. I saw quite a bit of that yesterday, Rideout to Ewan, and that was the result on several occasions. So 7-2, Berkmar to start. Gillespie handling up top. He's mirrored by Hill. Greeneville kind of spreading things out. Grove, the only guy that's really going to be much of a factor in the post, and he's going to scoot out to the perimeter pretty regularly. See, the way Greeneville's going to run things was really through almost a 5-out offense, especially against man-to-man. So, but they definitely have some guys around the perimeter that can shoot it. Dabbs, Satterfield, and Gillespie all shot it well yesterday. And then Grove is the guy that here we are right here, going to step into a little 18-footer. He's capable guy out there. He was right on target, just a little bit off. Rolls off, and Rideout's got the ball here in the front court. But again, that's kind of the way Greeneville wants to play in that 5-out fashion. Rideout right there with a nice step-through move. Puts it off the glass. Again, this is kind of mirroring what he did yesterday. Had a really good first half and kind of controlled the tempo for Berkmar. They built a 19, almost 20-point lead against Dorman before Dorman stormed back and had a chance to win it at the end in the last 5 seconds yesterday. So, again, it was kind of the opposite for Greeneville. Greeneville kind of like tonight got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then was able to kind of circle the wagons and then really controlled tempo from the latter part of the first quarter on. The rest of the game, it felt like Greeneville was really in charge of that ball game. So we'll see if they can mirror that effort this evening. Dabbs into the front court here. Again, Greeneville spreading folks out, trying to get Gillespie loose. Here comes Satterfield off a down screen. He's a really effective player last night, kind of playing the third score role behind Dabbs and Gillespie. Speaking of Dabbs, got the ball right there, had to poke it away. Ball's loose. Dabbs picks it back up, takes it in strong, has it blocked from behind. There's Hearns again. Satterfield's got a good look at it from the corner. Nice shot rotation, and that ball's good. So it was really Dabbs that got Greeneville going yesterday in the early phase. Gillespie took a little bit of time to get the feel for the game before he started taking things over. But Satterfield was there as well, kind of that entire ball game, making timely shots and playing really good defense. Greeneville as a whole played excellent defense yesterday throughout the entire ball game. So that shot right there was a big one for Greeneville, kind of break the ice here, pull this back into a 4-point game. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first period. All right, got a reach-in foul there, it appears. High ball screen. Hearns tried to split it, and then we had a reach-in foul. Foul on Groves, and that's his second. That's a big foul. He played pretty well as really Greeneville's kind of lone post player yesterday against a larger group. He did a great job on the Kansas commit, Uday from Dr. Phillips. So it's kind of a big loss. He's one of those glue guys that plays, that wasn't a big score, but rebounded well, played great positional defense, set a lot of screens on the offensive end as well, getting Dabbs and Gillespie open. Over the top to Ewan, that's tough. And that's one of those situations we got that size disadvantage in both cases with the 5'7" Tillery right there, and Rideout, who's at about 6'2" or 6'3", had a good look over the top. And again, Ewan has about 4 or 5 inches on Bradley Wells there, at least 5 inches. So again, that's kind of a tough situation to deal with when you got that going on. Satterfield long shot, no good. Ball's tipped out off of Greeneville, and Berkmar will grab possession. Only way that you can really counteract that is really either by switching a taller player onto Rideout or really getting up into him underneath his chest and affecting his ability to get the ball over his head to that lob pass to Ewan. So Greeneville going to have to pick up their defensive intensity in order to stop that from happening. Here's Hill, the step back three. That's pure. And again, Berkmar starting to find some gaps in the Greeneville defense here. Nice shot there by Hill on a little step back. Kind of set that up and found a little hole there and finished it. Here goes Blaine to the basket, and he's going to finish as well. Bryce Blaine with a nice little step through right there, poked it away, took it on a rim run there and finished. So we have, at this point, got a 30-second timeout. Greeneville going to try to get themselves together here. This, again, kind of like the way the game started yesterday against Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips jumped out to a 9-0 lead. Greeneville, after that, kind of found, steadily worked their way back into the game, and once they got control of it, they really controlled it the rest of the way. Berkmar's guards, in this particular case, have really kind of established what they've wanted to, and Ewan's presence in the inside has really made a difference as well. So. Obviously, these teams have had a chance to watch each other play, and these coaches are high-level folks. And they with just a little bit of review, they can figure out kind of where they can take advantage of the other side. So Greeneville, I think, on the perimeter can hang, but they're going to start knocking down some shots, much like what happened yesterday in that first game. So minute 37 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Berkmar up 11, 16-5. A little bit of a slow start for Greeneville, but again, it was kind of the same way yesterday. So we'll see if they can get something done here in the last 90 seconds of the quarter. Try to pull themselves back into this, at least get it down below double figures. Here goes Gillespie, a little spin move there, but it's tipped away. A little miscommunication, and got over and back. Yep. Dabbs did, I think, get a hand on that first. And Berkmar is going to grab possession out of bounds. So the length of the Berkmar guards here has bothered Greeneville so far. Having watched Berkmar play yesterday, that's kind of their MO. Their guards are really, really aggressive defensively. They're long and athletic. There's a nice drop step move. Beautiful move right there by Ewan. And he shows off his footwork and athleticism there. One step, and he was up in the air, and that ball was flushed. So, minute to go here in the first quarter. Berkmar, 13-point lead at the moment. The advantages that they have kind of showed themselves here in the first 7 minutes, with Greeneville being a pretty heavy size disadvantage, but the athleticism of the guards as well as Ewan in the front court giving Greeneville some problems. Gillespie on the ball here, being shaded by Blaine. Kicks over to Tillery. Nice little dump inside to Watts. He lost it. Tillery's out of bounds, I believe. Or we got a foul. No. I think that ball was blocked and Tillery caught it and he was on the end line. So we got a turnover here. 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Berkmar with an opportunity to probably get the last shot if they want it here in this first period. Right out into the front court. We got a little zone action, a little trap. This is interesting. Coach Woolsey from Greeneville saw this yesterday. Dorman did something very similar to Berkmar when they got the lead. Then Berkmar was up about 19 points, and Dorman went to something very similar to this, a 1-3-1 or even a 1-2-2 style trap, half court, and Berkmar had a hard time handling it. Right. Shot there from number 10. Sumaro missed to end the quarter. And we see ourselves at the end of the first quarter with a Berkmar lead of 18-5 over Greeneville. We'll see if Greeneville get kind of dig themselves back into this thing, much like what they did yesterday overall. So again, saw that little change right there that Coach Woolsey made to see if they could disrupt what Berkmar was doing. So we'll be back for second quarter action here shortly. Stick with us here on VSN 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. Second quarter action here at Viking Hall. First game of the semifinals, Berkmar versus Greeneville. Berkmar, excellent first quarter, executed really well in the half court. Not a lot of transition, a couple little transition buckets there, but for the most part it was finding the advantage that they had with their guards right out and Hill, and then dumping the ball down to their big post player, Malik Ewan, who has a major size advantage. So they showed pretty good patience in that first quarter, not trying to overdo things. Again, Greeneville switched to a little bit of a zone right there for that last possession. We'll see if they continue with that as we head into the second quarter. Satterfield takes it inside, and he's going to get bumped. He's going to head to the line. Nice strong move there by Reed Satterfield. That's kind of what Greeneville's going to need to do. They're going to have to be able to get into that. They're trying to spread Berkmar out, which is a good strategy considering they're at a size disadvantage to begin with. But once they get that beyond that initial defender, got to create some contact. Pump fakes, get those guys up in the air. They've had several shots blocked already, and I think that's probably what Coach Woolsey was talking about. Is you got to be able to create some contact, but also be able to get those guys up, and then maybe get into their bodies and get themselves to the free throw line. So one of the things Greeneville's going to need to do is draw some fouls here, and get themselves to that free throw line if they want to get back in this ball game. Second shot for Satterfield is up and good. Right out brings the ball, and then we do. Greeneville's going to stay with this kind of 1-2, kind of 2-1-2 hybrid zone. And it's right there out of the gate. We got a steal from Gillespie. He takes it strong to the rim. He's fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. So this is almost exactly what happened yesterday in the game against Dorman. Berkmar was doing very well against the man-to-man concepts that Dorman was trying to play. But the minute they switched to that, yesterday was kind of a 1-3-1 trap that Dorman brought to the table, and it slowed the game down considerably. But Berkmar just had a hard time trying to find ways to counteract it. And then Hearns and Ewan both got in foul trouble, and the game went from 19 points down to a single point in the last minute. So obviously Greeneville saw that yesterday, and they're trying to emulate. So they're in the 1-3-1 right here, straight up 1-3-1 trap with their hands up, moving their feet. Ewan's going to have to be real active here on the back end. If he's there, that's going to be pretty hard to stop. Nice pass there to Hill. He cuts down the middle but missed it. Ball's up, and Dabbs is able to secure the rebound. Gillespie in the corner there. So those types of missed opportunities are going to keep Greeneville in the game. There's a nice move by Hill. He just didn't quite finish it. Dabbs from a long range missed that one. Kicked out here to Hearns. Nice pass to Hill, who's going to jam it home. Well, he missed it, though. Had the dunk and missed it. So 2 close-in misses there by Jamari Hill. And now Greeneville's back the other end. Blocked by Ewan. That was close. That was real close to a goaltend. Couldn't tell from the far end. It was on the far end from where I'm at if that ball had hit the glass. It was still on its way up. I just couldn't tell if it was actually on the glass or not. Referee had a pretty good look at it, and he was pointing to the Greeneville bench, said, nope, it's still on its way up. So he must have saw it pretty clearly. Really nice play defensively there by Ewan, and then that led to a run out on the other end. Here's Gillespie for 3. That was on point, just couldn't quite get it. Good battle by Dabbs to be able to pull that down, but he lost it. Ball's into Rideout's hands. He kicks it over to Hearns. Hearns takes it up strong. He's fouled by Satterfield. A pretty good defense there by Satterfield. Maybe just got a little bit of an elbow. Clipped his elbow on the way up. So the shots that were falling for Greeneville last night, especially as they started to work their way back into the game, haven't started falling quite yet. Coach Woolsey's after the referees about that eraser job that Ewan did on the other end, but I think it was the right call. Unless it hit the glass, he's definitely caught it on the way up and kind of pinned it. So couldn't really tell from this far end other than that. It looked like a good play. So Hearns at the free throw line, missed his first free throw. He's got one more coming. Number 4, Jaquan Price comes in for Greeneville. Hearns' second free throw is no good as well. So some short misses and a couple of free throw misses here, kind of stopping Berkmar from pushing this lead out even further. So Greeneville's shown they can be a dangerous team if you let them hang around. They can shoot the ball well. There's Satterfield with a nice left-hand move to the basket, and he scores. That's a really nice move on his part. Kind of surveyed the defense there and was able to slide by Rideout and get that ball up on the glass. And Greeneville pulls within 11. Here comes Rideout's going to step into a 3. Had a good look at it, but it bounces off. Gillespie over to Dabbs. So again, Greeneville with a bucket here brings it back into single digits. Satterfield stepping out. He's doing quite a bit of work here in this early phase. Kind of running the offense through him to a certain extent. A lot of attention being paid to Gillespie. There is Satterfield again to the rim. Nice job by Ewan. Again, looked like over the back, but I don't think there was any contact. And there's Hill with really swooping in. Nice move on his part. See why teams like the Georgia Bulldogs are giving him a look as far as recruitment at the Division I level. Really athletic kid, about 6'4". Seems to just kind of glide out there. So Gillespie being hounded by Blaine. A lot of attention being paid to him. There's Dabbs again, has another shot blocked. He'll block that shot. He's still in the back court. Looks to have hurt his hand in some way. Ball's to Hearns right here, and he scores. I think Hill may have hit his hand on the backboard there. So nice defense to be able to erase that shot, and that led to a bucket on the other end. He's going to have to go see the trainer, it appears. So if we got not sure that it's probably just a substitution timeout. Yeah. So we're staying with it here. Just had to get some medical attention for one of the Berkmar players. So back to action here. 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Berkmar has maintained a 15-point lead throughout this, a double-digit lead at least. They're up to 15 at this point as we head towards the halfway point of the second quarter. Greeneville just hasn't been able to get going offensively. They've had some decent looks at the basket, but again, the athleticism that they're facing out here and the length that they're running up against is, even though it's similar to what they ran up against last night against Dr. Phillips, we just haven't seen the production from the Green Devils yet this evening. Yeah, there's a little reach-in foul there. Samoro with the reach-in. Gillespie hasn't really been able to get off. Hasn't not been able to get moving here as much as he would have liked, I'm sure. Again, but he's getting paid a lot of attention to, and he's also going up against a 6'4" or 6'5" guard that he's playing against. And he's He's probably 6'1", 6'2", but he's facing some pretty good length here. And they're rotating some guys on him. Satterfield with a full away. Nice move. Kind of a step back runner combination right there. Really nice play. Satterfield's kind of almost single-handedly keeping the Green Devils in this offensively. He's been their best playmaker against this Berkmar defense so far. Nice kick out to Blaine. He's going to launch up a three. That's no good. Good box out there. Really nice box out by Grove. And Samoro got caught on the back right there in that case. Yep, that's 2 on him. That's an excellent box out, like textbook box out there by Grove. If you're going to teach that in practice, that's exactly how you do it. So Greeneville, and that's kind of what Grove brings to the table. He did that all night last night against bigger opponents, the team from Orlando, and he was kind of, he's kind of one of those unsung heroes that does a lot of the dirty work. But every team needs him, so he's back in the game. He's got 2 fouls, so he's played kind of conservative here in that case. Satterfield, again, he's starting to get more of the offensive attention here. He's been the most effective player in the first half there that way. Blaine is going to be called for a bump right there. Gillespie with a nice move in that case. Draws the foul. Satterfield keys it in. Gillespie back to Satterfield. He's going to drive to the sideline. We're going to have an offensive foul call. That's probably a pretty good call there. It looked like he dipped the shoulder. Samora was in the way. One of the few situations this evening very likely that Greeneville's going to have a size advantage. But Samoro did a really nice job of moving his feet there. Cut the baseline off, and Satterfield's called for the charge. That's his second foul as well. With 3 minutes here to go in the first half, Greeneville's got 5 team fouls, or only 4 team fouls, but they're both, all 4 of them are on 2 players, 2 of their starters. So something to watch. This is a backdoor lob to Ewan. Kicks it out to Hearns for 3, had a good look at it, knocks it down. The lob was just a little bit off, but Ewan did a good job of kind of passing that on to a wide open Hearns, who was able to knock that down. Nice move there by Gillespie. Hearns took a swat at it, but couldn't get a hand on it. Ball was in the cylinder already, and Gillespie puts 2 on the board for the Green Devils. Ewan, ball batted by Gillespie. He's able to knock that. Again, this is something that Berkmar struggled with yesterday, is kind of figuring out the passing structure against a trapping zone. Dorman really came storming back in that game yesterday in the second half because of that. Greeneville trying to emulate that as well. Gillespie to the corner. Nice little dribble move there by Price. Back to Gillespie. Well, he's thinking about one from the power tee right there, and he's going to launch it. That's dead on, and it's good. Kind of used that dribble as a way to kind of get his rhythm. Sized up Hearns and shot the ball over the bigger guard and knocked it down. So now we're back to 11 points under 2 minutes to go. Greeneville trying to dig back into single digits here before halftime. Right out over to Hearns. Hearns is going to take one from the exact same spot, but he's going to miss that one. Gillespie found the rebound. Now he's going to push pace to the other end. Take it strong. Kicks it back out to Price, who's got a little wide open look at a 3. He nails it. So back-to-back threes for Greeneville, and here we go. A little bit later in the half than yesterday. The run that was made by Dr. Phillips was right out of the gate last night, 9-0 to start the ball game. This one's been a little bit more extended by Berkmar, but Greeneville's starting to find their rhythm offensively, and the key right there has been Jacoby Gillespie, right? Finding space on the wing, had a nice drive to the basket, 5 points altogether, then found Price on the wing, got his feet set, and was able to knock that down. So he's starting to figure out this whole process against the bigger, more athletic team. But again, he was the guy that figured that out yesterday as well. Gillespie, once he started to feel where he needed to be on the floor, he started taking advantage of the Dr. Phillips defense, and we're starting to see that happen here against Berkmar as well. So we'll see if that continues. We've got less than a minute 30 to go. Minute 25 here in the second quarter. 27-19 Berkmar. And again, Greeneville is sticking with this kind of 2-1-2 zone that kind of ends up being a 1-3-1 once it gets into half court. Nice cut there by Blaine, but he misses the shot. Greeneville gets another opportunity. Blame's a little off balance there. Made a nice cut, but he tried to shoot that one going away from the basket, and then the ball went a little bit long on him. Greeneville running kind of a down screen offense here against this man-to-man that Berkmar's bringing. Dabbs, he's kind of been a non-factor so far. Here's Satterfield's got a good look from the corner, and he nails it. That's 3 threes in a row for the Green Devils, and we find ourselves back at 5 points here with under a minute to go. Nice pass by Dabbs. Drew some defenders there, found Satterfield running to the corner, and Satterfield nailed it, knocked it down, and now we find ourselves with a 5-point ball game. Rideout kicks back to Blaine. Blaine back to Rideout. He's going to drive on in for a 15-footer. Got a good look at it, but couldn't knock it down. With 20 seconds to go, looks like Greeneville's going to get the final shot of the half. Having dug back in after being down 14, 15 points, we find ourselves with only 10 seconds to go with a 5-point lead. Here, ball's going to Gillespie. Who else? Blaine kind of tipped that one away. Gillespie trying to make something happen. Kicks to Dabbs in the corner. Got a good look. No good. Left it a little bit short. I think he was maybe even a little bit surprised that he was that open. He had a good look at it, but just couldn't quite get it there. So, at half, it's 27-22 Berkmar. Even though Berkmar it's felt like they've controlled the game for almost that entire first half, Greeneville starts to chip away just like they did yesterday, and now we find ourselves at halftime with only a 5-point difference between the two teams. So, second half should be interesting, especially if Greeneville can continue to play the way they did in really about that last 3.5, 4 minutes. We'll see exactly how that plays out here in the second half. So, we're going to take about a 10-minute break here for halftime. We'll be back here to start third quarter action in about that time frame, so stick with us on VSN, the Viking Sports Network. You're watching the 38th Annual Arby's Classic.
Looking for a winner. Take some of the half-match orthopedics money here. Let us get it go. Here you gotta let it fly from behind the center court line. Whoa! That's the winner. Our winner is Adam Terry. Congratulations, you're $100 from Appalachian Orthopedics. leading scorer with 11.37 on Jacoby Weston. And Jaquan Price, leading rebounders for Greeneville, each with 4 rebounds. Jonathan Dash, Terry Grove, followed by Jacoby Weston with 3. Ladies and gentlemen, McAllister's Deli is proud sponsor of the Arby's Classic. McAllister's Deli offers real handcrafted food and delicious sweet tea, always made to order. McAllister's has 3 convenient locations in the Tri-Cities and additional locations across East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. McAllister's Deli on Euclid Avenue thanks the Bristol community for their support. Order your meals or catering on the McAllister's Deli app, online at McAllister'sDeli.com.
Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. We've got some halftime stats for you here, starting off with team stats. Berkmar shot the ball really well here in the first half, 27 total points, but 12 for 23 from the field, 9 out of 15 from 2, and 3 out of 8 from 3. Good portion of that, though, was really in about the first 11 to 12 minutes. The last 4 minutes of the half was really kind of owned by Greeneville. Greeneville, by contrast, didn't shoot the ball very well at all when you look at it statistically. Only 8 for 25 from the field. 4 2-point buckets, 4 3-point buckets. But 3 of those 3-point buckets all came right there in that in those waning moments of the second quarter. So that 9-point burst is kind of what closed the gap between these two sides. Rebounding, pretty close. Berkmar out rebounding Greeneville 17 to 13. And maybe the real standout statistic, and I think this is part of the reason why Greeneville's shot percentage is so low, is that Berkmar has 7 block shots in the first half, which definitely hurts the shooting percentage. A lot of those came in the early phase of the game, however. Individual statistics, let's take a look at that. Berkmar is led at the moment by Malik Ewan with 8 points. on 4 of 5 shooting. Bo Hearns with 7, and both Jamil Rideout and Jamari Hill with 5. So pretty good balance. No double-figure scores for Berkmar, but everybody kind of getting a piece of the pie there. And then on the Greeneville side, they were led for almost the entire first half by Reed Satterfield, who's played really well. Has been very aggressive offensively. 4 out of 7 from the field, hit 2 3-pointers, and leads Greeneville with 11 points. Jacoby Gillespie started to really kind of get going there towards the end. Kind of a slower start, but he started to pick up the pace there. Hit a couple of shots in the second quarter that got him going, and a couple of nice assists as well, setting up threes for his teammates. He's second on the team with 8 points going into the second half. So this game has a similar feel to what we saw last night with Greeneville and Dr. Phillips, but also on the flip side with Berkmar and Dorman. Berkmar got out to a big lead, saw that lead kind of disintegrate over time, and what we saw as well, I pointed this out in the first half, is that Greeneville kind of copycatted what Dorman did yesterday in the fact that they were having a hard time guarding Berkmar one-on-one in man-to-man situations. So they switched to kind of a trapping 2-1-2/1-3-1 zone, and it really slowed the pace down for Berkmar. They had a hard time finding quality shots, and on the back end, Greeneville was able to take advantage of that by finding some timely buckets of their own. So as we start the third quarter, Berkmar holds a 5-point lead, 27-22, and they will have possession as we start this quarter here. So should be an interesting and entertaining second half. Looking forward to further action here. So let's get it started. Rideout has the ball in the half court. He kicks it back over, and again, Greeneville's finding it. They've stuck with the zone. It's been effective for them. Ball inside to Hill there. He found a nice little gap though, and was able to take advantage and puts that ball in the hole. So I'm sure in the locker room at halftime, the Berkmar team is trying to. I'm sure there was a big discussion about what they were going to do to attack the zone in the second half. Good look for Dabbs. He just has not been able to get going. Had a great look there at the end of the first half. Had a good look there. Just couldn't knock down either one of them. He's going to need to get going if Greeneville's going to have a chance to win this thing. He was a huge contributor to Greeneville's effort last night in that upset win. There's Hill again. Hill had a couple of those opportunities in the first half, a dunk opportunity and a short layup opportunity that he didn't convert on. And those led to a couple of kind of 4-point swings with Greeneville scoring on the other end. But he's found 2 open buckets here to start the quarter. There's Reed Satterfield, who's really, like I said, he's been the offensive force for Greeneville this evening. Hits another 3 in kind of a sort of step back kind of fading fashion, but shot that ball confidently, knocked it down. Greeneville sticking with the 1-3-1. Hearns hit a shot right there from the corner in the first half. Ewan really needs to be, from what I can see, a little more aggressive, and they set him up nicely there. Makes a nice move but couldn't finish. He is a major contributor and has a major advantage inside. It looked like an offensive foul, but Blaine got away with it. Tillery stepped in nicely. Looked like he was in decent position, but it was a play on. Berkmar gets a bucket out of that just here in the third quarter. Nice move by Gillespie, able to kind of snake his way in between the defenders there. Got it up before Ewan could come across and erase it. And again, we got the pace of this is kind of picking up. 33-27 with Berkmar starting to try to figure out angles to the zone. And that's where Hill has been really good here in the first couple of minutes in the third quarter. 3 buckets already. He just kind of presents a different challenge. He's a real good slashing type of player. Gets to the rim really well, and once he gets there, he elevates extremely well. And as a player at 6'4", he's tough to stop. There's a nice step back from Gillespie, and he's starting to feel it a little bit. Once he gets going, he's hard to stop. 5 points for him already in the third quarter. He's keeping the Green Devils tight in this case. So we got to do something with Hill, though. Hill's starting to find some gaps in this zone. Nice hands there by Tillery. Puts that away. Gillespie's going to take it on strong. Take it up. Oh, he dunks it home. And a foul. Big time play by Gillespie. Explosive play. Greeneville crowd loves it. Right? I did not see that one coming necessarily. He didn't have a great amount of momentum going to the rim, but he kind of just tucked that ball and went up strong and dunked it home. Foul there on Hearns, I believe. And Gillespie's going to the line for an and one. The crowd here at Viking Hall really appreciated that effort, and that's a heck of a play. I guess we maybe not necessarily shocked, but just kind of surprised that it wasn't so much of a streak down the floor as it was kind of. It seemed almost casual, right? Gillespie missed the free throw, but that was a heck of a play. Just kind of cupped the ball, went straight up, and just jammed it home. Hearns gets a little revenge on the other end with a step-in three, and Berkmar steps back out to a 6-point lead. So a little bit of a charge going through the Viking Hall crowd. There's Satterfield again, had a great look and had it rim out on him. Just couldn't quite get that one to go. Nice step through by Hearns. That's a really nice move. Really nice move there by Bo Hearns at a little Euro step and stopped right there on the dime, took it up strong and finished. Dabbs is going to pick up the foul there. So a couple of really nice back-to-back plays. A big-time dunk by Gillespie. Hearns with back-to-back plays for Berkmar on the other end. A three, and looks like he's got an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play here. Isn't able to convert, but two nice moves by him. Tillery's streaking down the side. 5'7" player takes it up strong, missed it, but it's followed up by Grove, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Nicely done there by Terry Grove, 6'4" senior. Followed up the miss by his compatriot there, and then drawed some contact on Hill, and that's going to go get him to the free throw line for two. Again, he's the guy that I've pointed out in the first half. That's really kind of his role on this team, from what I can surmise. He's kind of the do everything defender. He's their, he's not really, I would say, a true post player necessarily, but he finds himself in that position. Physical guy, plays good defense. I've seen him take really good angles on both the offensive and defensive ends. Like I said, every team kind of needs one of those guys. A Swiss Army knife type player, and Grove fits that mold for Greeneville. Makes two free throws there to bring Greeneville back within 6 as we approach the halfway point here in the third quarter. Greeneville sticking with this zone. You see Hill kind of lurking there at the free throw line extended. He's been really effective there in the second half. Nice pass, really nice look, and cut. Bishop to Samoro there. Kind of a look away pass, but Samoro was able to grab that and finish it. There goes Gillespie through the lane, no good. Grove in there battling for it, couldn't come up with it that time. Hearns on the streaking maneuver. Tillery gets in there and knocks that away. Good defense. Nice hustle by Jackson Tillery on the way back there to knock that away. Ewan's going to check back in the ball game here, give Hearns a break. It's a little rotation for Berkmar here. Ewan got a little bit of a breather there in the kind of middle minutes there in the third quarter. Again, I'm sure they would love to see him be a little more aggressive in this case. The guy with as big a size advantage and athletic ability that he has, he just has been kind of quiet since the early phases of the game. Nice play there by Hill. He's able to step into that pass. He's going to take it home. That one he didn't miss. Right, straight up and down with that. Good defense on his part. They tried to dribble handoff Greeneville on the wing there, and he stepped right in and took it, and then went coast to coast for the dunk. Now this leads ballooned out to 10. Seems like the way Greeneville's played this game is going to be closer than it was. We got a hold there, it looks like, maybe, underneath. Yeah. Blaine with a hold. Second personal foul. Greeneville's going to take it out underneath. So, again, Greeneville's kind of been able to kind of push to the 4 or 5 point difference, but Berkmar's had answers through this whole process, pushing this back to a double-figure lead with 3:19 to go here in the third quarter. There's Satterfield, got a good look at a three. He just has not been able to get. He's got a couple of them rim off on him right there with this last little bit. Nice action there, and there's Ewan following up for the tip-in. Nice run out there after the miss by Berkmar, and they push this lead back to 12. Again, Satterfield, 2 really good looks at threes, just hadn't been able to get him to go. And there's Gillespie letting Blaine know about it a little bit on that little step back, a little back and forth between those two guys. In this case, Gillespie again starting to heat up. Cuts the lead back to 9. Blaine's gonna try to answer, no good, but he fouls it up. Lost it though. Tillery's gonna push that ahead to Gillespie. He's gonna take it up strong, one-handed in, and swoops in and scores. So Gillespie again starting to really assert himself here in the third quarter. It really kind of started for him at the last 4 minutes of the second quarter of the first half, and he's starting to really feel it now. He gets going. He is really tough to handle, Nice pass. Really good vision there by Blaine. Saw a gap in the Greeneville defense. They didn't quite rotate quick enough and found Hills kind of on that short baseline, made himself available, and he's going to get himself 2 free throws here. Second foul there on Dabbs puts Hill at the free throw line. First shot's up and good. See Hill sporting he's got 2 of his fingers taped together. I think he hit his hand on the glass in the first half going up to block a shot. He doesn't seem it to be any of the worse for wear. Second free throw's off the rim and no good. He's been really a big contributor here in the third quarter, Jamari Hill. Close to double figures just here in the third quarter. Ball off of Gillespie's legs right there. He tried a little kind of high post rub. Couldn't secure it. Ball goes back to Berkmar here with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. He's Rideout's been relatively quiet. Had a big impact in the game yesterday. Hasn't had as much of an impact today. Hill has been really the kind of the main focus offensively, especially here in the third quarter. There goes Gillespie. Got away with a little bit of a push off there to create some space, but couldn't quite get that one to go. Speaking of Rideout, here he goes. Maybe got away with some steps there, but missed the layup regardless. And Grove was able to retrieve the rebound. Here comes Satterfield for 3, riding into it, and there it was. Again, he's been really close on the last couple shots that just kind of rimmed out on him. There, you could tell the way he was moving. That shot was going up. Right? So stepped into that one, knocked it down, and we're back to a 5-point lead again. With a minute to go here in the third, Greeneville just will not go away. Wouldn't expect that considering what they were able to accomplish these last couple of days. And again, there's Hill, who's really started to become a force on the offensive end for Berkmar. Really their main kind of go-to guy here, it seems, in the third quarter. I think he's got 11 points in the quarter. Been a big time influence there after hurting his hand a little bit in the first half. So Greeneville continues to find ways to manufacture points, though. A lot of it from distance, but Gillespie's getting so much attention. There's a nice little runner by him. Off the glass, no good. Ewan is going to handle the ball into the front court here. Kicks it over to Rideout. Just kind of slides in. Nice pass back to him. That's really nicely done with those two-man game. Saw a lot of that yesterday between those two. Nice play by the big man, especially running his lane. And Rideout was able to find him there. Got to feed the big man when he's running the floor, and that's exactly what happened there. 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, and Dabbs gets a shot up, but no good. Kind of ran into the wrong set there with the big man stepping out. So after 3, we've got a 9-point game. Berkmar up 51-42. It felt like Greeneville had the momentum there for just a minute, but then was kind of snatched back away by Berkmar, and they take their 5-point lead from halftime and extend it out to 9 here in the third quarter. So we'll be back very quickly here after a quick break to take you through the fourth quarter action. Stick with us here on VSN 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Welcome back to Viking Hall, 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Fourth quarter action. Greeneville, the Green Devils, down 9 here to the homestanding Berkmar Patriots. Jacoby Gillespie had an excellent third quarter, 12 points on his own in the third. Leading scorer with 20. Reed Satterfield with the ball right there with 17. All right, nice D there by the Patriots, but the ball is still somehow ended up in the hands of the Green Devils inside the Grove. Back out to Satterfield for 3, and he nails it. Right? So matching his compatriot, Gillespie, both of them now with 20 points. Several of the Berkmar Patriots as well in double figures. Hearns, Hill, and Ewan. Hill had an excellent third quarter. Jamari Hill, who's in the high post at the moment, had 11 points of his own on the third. Nice D there by Gillespie, but it bounced off a Green Devil, I believe. Had an opportunity for a run out if they could secure it. Satterfield has been really timely in his shooting. Reed Satterfield, number 23 for Greeneville, has been able to find gaps in that Patriot defense and has done most of his work from distance. But he even had a couple of threes kind of rattle out on him in the third quarter. Otherwise, he might be 25, 26 points at this point overall. But anyway, 6 point difference here with Hill with the ball in his hand. Again, he's been the main scorer in the second half for Berkmar. But that's right there. That's tough to deal with. When Ewan gets himself into that position, he's really tough to stop. He was able to get that put back. There's Gillespie, step back, and he nails it. Again, really haven't had any answer for him in the second half. Berkmar's tried a bunch of different guys on him, but he's been able to create a little bit of separation with that jab step and step back, and he's been able to hit enough of those shots in those situations to keep Berkmar honest. Because again, you start pushing up on him, he's just going to blow by you. So he's just one of those guys who's really tough to guard because he's got that ability. Once he gets going, he's really tough to stop. So he and Satterfield have kind of went point counterpoint on the offensive end for the Green Devils. When as soon as they start shading Gillespie, then shading Gillespie, then you get Satterfield stepping in and knocking shots down. And when they don't put enough help over on Gillespie, he just goes one-on-one and has been scoring at will here recently. Now, Berkmar still 5-point lead at this point. Hill has really been the difference maker in the second half for him. So Jamari Hill's going to step to the free throw line for 2. He's been in and around the rim, especially. He's hit a couple little short jumpers as well. He's been a difference maker for them. Only bugaboo is he missed a couple free throws. Misses the first one there. He's got one more coming. We're under the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Again, the winner of this game is going to go to the finals of the Arby's Classic tomorrow. So a lot on the line here for both these teams. And he misses both. Price streaking there. Satterfield, little head fake, going to shoot a foul away. Left it a little bit long. He made a couple of those in the first half. Got a decent look at it there. Just couldn't quite get it to drop. Berkmar did a pretty good job getting back defensively there. It was a tough challenge shot. Again, Greeneville is stuck almost exclusively to this zone. Once they started figuring out, and thinking back to yesterday, the scouting report said that Berkmar kind of struggles against this. The game has been a little bit more to Greeneville's liking. That's a nice move there by Blaine. But it's definitely something that Berkmar struggled with. Price has a shot blocked by Hearns. Covers a lot of ground. And that led out to Hill, who thought he was going to go up for a dunk right there, but couldn't quite secure. Took his eye off the ball at just the last second. The ball ends up out of bounds and ends up back with the Green Devils. We're going to have a timeout here, I believe. Coach Woolsey's going to call a full timeout, get his troops together here for this last stretch. Got about 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. We're going to step aside for just a minute. We'll be back here after this timeout. You're watching VSN, 38th Annual Arby's Classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, update on the Legion Super Bowl. If you're recording that team, try not to listen to the fact that the final score in overtime was Purdue 48, Tennessee 45.
Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. Fourth quarter action here between Berkmar and Greeneville. 5 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Berkmar up 7. It's kind of been a 5 to 9 point difference for most of the second half. Greeneville hasn't been able to get it below 4, I don't believe, in this the second half after being down as many as like 15, I believe, in the first half. So it's been a pretty tight ball game since Greeneville's dug back in. We've got a foul here. Blaine's holding Gillespie there. And that's either his third or his fourth. That's his third. So not a ton of fouls in this game. It's been a pretty clean game all the way through. 14 fouls on Berkmar and 3 on Greeneville currently. If we get into crunch time, that would be an interesting scenario if we don't have any more team fouls. There's Satterfield coming off the screen, step back. He's got a good look at it, fall away. He left that one a little bit short. Yeah, that was kind of a force there. Good defense that time by Blaine to keep Satterfield in front of him. It's one of the few, I would say, ill-advised shots that Greeneville's taken. That was a little bit of a force. Wasn't much space there, and that was definitely a challenge shot. There's Hearns from the corner. That seems to be his spot. He's hit a couple of those, and that pushes the lead back to 10 points. So just like that, we got a double-figure lead here for Berkmar. Good defensive stand on this end. Got a quick look at a 3 on the opposite end, and all of a sudden with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go, Berkmar's up double figures. So this has happened a couple of times throughout the game where, Greeneville just kind of keeps chipping away, and then a bad offensive possession leads to a quick either run out or perimeter possession there for Berkmar, and they've been able to execute pretty well in this case. Why they've been able to keep this kind of between 5 to 10 point lead this entire time is they just haven't allowed Greeneville to get that last bucket that's going to put them within that sort of that one shot difference. So we'll see how this last half of the quarter comes out. Coach Woolsey down here on the Greeneville end, giving his troops their marching orders. I would suspect that you're probably going to see a little bit more either dribble handoff action or maybe some high ball screens. The one guy that we just haven't seen much from this evening is Ajate Dabbs, who was really dynamite yesterday shooting the basketball. Is scoreless at this point. He's helped facilitate. He's played defensively pretty well, but just has not been able to get on into the scoring column. That's kind of been the difference for Greeneville. His absence scoring-wise is pretty glaring, even though Satterfield and Gillespie have really carried the load. So as we said, a little high ball screen action there to begin. There's Gillespie with a good look at a shot. Was a little bit long with it, and nobody home for Greeneville on the offensive boards. Now Berkmar comes into the front court. Under 4 minutes to go with a 10-point lead. Greeneville run this 1-3-1. Ewan is the guy to watch right here, and the ball goes into him. Double team right out of the gate. Ball's kicked right out and right back to Hearns from that same spot. Couldn't get that one to go, and there's Ewan who's going to be able to put that one back up and in. It's just the one thing with that 1-3-1 on the backside. Usually you have a guard moving back and forth on that back end, and you end up with the 6'1" Dabbs up against the 6'10" Ewan, and that's just not a matchup that's gonna work out well in Greeneville's favor very often. So 12-point lead here for Berkmar. Gillespie going to work. He got fouled there, I believe. Yep. Hill with a reach in and a block simultaneously. That's going to put Berkmar up to 5 team fouls. Just out of bounds here for Greeneville. 3:20 to go. Dabbs up to receive that pass. He's going to come off a high ball screen. Step Ewan has a tendency to step out high on those, so the backside is open off these high ball screens if they can pull Ewan away from the basket. Continuity offense here is kind of staggered screens. Gets Gillespie to the top. He's got the ball in his hands. Ewan is forced to switch out on top of him there, so that was the idea. Just what I was talking about. Ewan pulls away from the basket. Grove rolled, but the pass was just a little bit too high for him because there was nobody under the basket there. Gillespie recognized it, but just couldn't complete the pass to the cutting Grove. We've got a turnover here. So Greeneville's going to extend their defense into about it's like a 2-2-1 trapping press. Hill in the middle with it. It's going to go right to that trap area, and he reach in by Tillery, and he's going to be fouled. So Tillery, that's his second. 4th team foul on Greeneville. Under the 3-minute mark here, 2:44 to go. Berkmar probably going to be content to move the ball here with a 12-point lead. Hill and Rideout have spaced out the perimeter. Yep, Rideout says, hey, let's move. Back over to Hill. He's got Blaine, who's going to be cutting in. Ewan on the perimeter, kicks across to Rideout. He's going to step into a three. Got a good look at it and missed it. He's kind of. I think it's kind of the same thing with Dabbs. Rideout was such a big contributor yesterday. Off the rim, had a great look at it there. Did Satterfield, but he couldn't get it to go, and that leads to a run out on the other end, and Blaine is able to put it home. So that up to the 14-point deal. What I was talking about there was Rideout and Dabbs have kind of canceled each other out. Both of those guys were major contributors yesterday, and neither one of them has had a particularly good night tonight. But that's part of the reason I believe why this game has stayed as close as it has, because if Rideout had gotten his regular contribution, this game could be out of reach here for Berkmar. So we got 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go, 14-point lead. Greeneville's got to make a move, and they got to make it quick. So I'd expect to see some movement around the perimeter, try to get Gillespie or Satterfield a look here. Again, don't forget about Dabbs. He shoots the ball really well. Even though he hasn't shot it particularly well this evening, he's a guy that is definitely capable of knocking down perimeter shots. And then I would expect to see full court press after that, try to see if they can get some turnovers here. Greeneville still has 2 fouls to give before we get to the bonus, and not a whole lot of time to make something happen here. So we'll see what the Green Devils have left in the tank on the 4th night of the Arby's Classic here. Ball into Dabbs. He's going to take it on up. Greeneville's got to pick the pace up here a little bit. A lot of precious seconds coming off the board. There's Dabbs with a good. He's going to have a good look at it. Just left it a little bit short. Satterfield takes it up strong. The ball's blocked. Rideout is able to run it down. Hill brings it up. He's going to slow it down, at least for the moment. Now he takes it strong to the rim. Nice pass to Hearns, and Hearns hammers it home. Nice. Good. It's really good patience there by Hill. Yeah, had the right idea of kind of slowing it down. There's Gillespie for a long three. No good. Hill's got it. He's going to get it out to Blaine. Blaine's going to take it in strong against Gillespie and count it. Nice finish there by Bryce Blaine. So that's the tendency in those cases is to kind of hold the ball and make the defense come to you. Well, Hill was kind of able to do that as well, but he saw an opportunity to take the ball into the lane, where he's really excelled in the second half. And then a nice little kind of dump-off pass, no-look pass to Hearns, who hammered it home. So now we've got the lead has ballooned here in just a very short period of time, up to 19 points. Dabbs is going to take a three from the corner. That's going to come up way short. Just had an off night for a really good ball player here in Ajate Dabbs. Just hasn't had it this evening. Happens to the best of us in those cases, especially from a shooter's perspective. So Ewan is now going to take it out as kind of play a little point center here. He takes it to the rim strong and scores. And that's going to put this game pretty well to bed. 21-point lead here for Berkmar. Greeneville just kind of ran out of gas. As well as they have played in this tournament, and really for 3 quarters, we're right there with 2 of the top teams in this tournament. Hats off to the Green Devils for really playing 2 solid games against really top-notch Division I level talent. And again, taking nothing away from Greeneville at all. Jacoby Gillespie has been fantastic in these 2 games. And again, Reed Satterfield, no slouch in his own. Both those guys with more than 20 points this evening. Ewan takes the free throw, no good. Good team effort from Berkmar, but Ewan is able to steal that ball off the backboard and then dunk it home, adding a little insult to injury here as Greeneville empties their bench. Under a minute to go. Yeah, Ewan showing off there a little bit with his block shot. 38 seconds to go, and I'd suspect we'll start to see some bench participants roll in. Both sides have basically cleared their bench. Only regular player in there for Berkmar is Hearns. Ball out of bounds. Greeneville retains possession. So Berkmar is going to advance to the finals. They will face the winner of our upcoming game here between Amarillo and Long Island Lutheran. Should be an intriguing matchup between those 2 groups as well. Really interesting overall concept. 2 very contrasting styles between those 2 teams. We'll see exactly how that plays out. Nice move there. Score by Keelan Lester of Greeneville. Puts his name in the Arby's Classic record books. As we roll up on the end of this ball game. Hats off to Berkmar here. Really good game plan. Greeneville tried to zone him, and it worked for maybe a quarter and a half, right, before they started to really figure out the gaps that were there. And once that happened, really, Jamari Hill was the guy that really got things going. Once he started slashing, everything else kind of came together. And we end up with a 71-50 win for the Berkmar Patriots, who are going to go on to the finals here. A team from Lilburn, Georgia, to face the winner of our upcoming ball game between the Amarillo Sandys from Amarillo, Texas, and the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders from Brookville, New York. This next game should be really an interesting one as we move into the final semifinal game and the final game of Night 4 here at Viking Hall, the 38th annual Arby's Classic. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to run you through this next ball game. Stick with us. It'll actually going to be more like about 15 minutes, it looks like. That game ended a little sooner than we expected. So we'll give about 15 minutes. About 8:30, I think, is tip-off time for the final game of the night between Long Island Lutheran and Amarillo. Come back with us. I'm your host, CJ Manahan. We'll be back here in about 15 minutes for the final game of the night, the 38th annual Arby's Classic.